clock is not just ticking, it is screaming, and every second you spend in a state of hesitation is a second you have permanently deleted from your legacy. You need to understand that time is the only truly finite resource, and it is the only thing you can never earn back, no matter how much money you make in the future. When people tell you that time is money, they are usually being metaphorical, but in the real world, it is a literal conversion of energy into outcome. A man who understands his value will pay any price to save an hour, while a man who has no value will spend 5 hours to save $10. This fundamental difference in perspective is exactly why the rich get richer and the poor stay trapped in a cycle of survival. You do not have the luxury of having a bad day or letting a headache slow you down, because your competition is out there right now drinking your blood and stealing your plate. If you were in a physical fight for your life, you wouldn't stop because your head hurts. So why do you stop when it comes to your financial survival? The world is a hyper-competitive arena where the winners take everything and the losers make excuses about how the game was rigged. You have been conditioned to believe that your feelings matter more than your results, but reality does not care how you feel. Reality only cares about what you produce and how much value you can force into the marketplace. You are currently being outrun by men who are more disciplined than you and who have deleted the word comfort from their vocabulary. They are waking up earlier and staying up later, and they are moving with a level of speed that makes your current pace look like you are standing still. If you want to escape the matrix, you have to stop acting like a slave who is waiting for permission to be free. The Matrix is a system designed to keep you productive enough to pay taxes, but too tired to ever rebel. It feeds you cheap food and cheap entertainment, and it gives you a tiny paycheck that barely covers your rent, so that you are always one missed week away from disaster. This is modern slavery, and the only way out is to become so competent and so valuable that the system can no longer contain you. You need to look at your bank account as a scoreboard, and if that scoreboard is at 0, it means you are losing the game of life. There is no middle ground in 2026, because we are entering a period of history where the middle class is being completely erased. You will either be a master of the new world or a servant to it, and the window of opportunity is closing faster than you can imagine. Every day you spend scrolling through your phone or messaging people who don't contribute to your growth is a day you are choosing to stay a loser. You can convert your time into status and wealth and a world-class physique, but you have to be willing to burn your old self to the ground to make room for the new man. Most people go through their entire lives without ever giving 100% to anything. They do half-hearted work and they wonder why they have a half-hearted life. If you are going to do a job, you should do it with absolute vigor and intensity, because excellence is a permanent habit that bleeds into everything you do. Whether you are driving a car or making a phone call or training in the gym, you should be doing it with the efficiency of an expert. When you approach every task with maximum intensity, it becomes your identity, and you start breaking through limits that you thought were impossible. You need to realize that being a good man is not the same thing as being a harmless man. A harmless man is just a man who lacks the capacity for violence or influence, while a good man is a monster who has learned how to control his power. You need to develop the capacity to be dangerous so that when you choose to be kind, it actually means something. The world only respects strength, and if you are weak, you are just a victim, waiting for a predator to find you. You need to hit the weights until your body looks like a weapon, and you need to sharpen your mind until you can see the truth behind the lies of the system. Success is like a pregnancy, because everyone will congratulate you on the final result, but nobody will ever know how many times you were screwed over or how much pain you had to endure to get there. You should thank God for the struggle, because the struggle is the only thing that is preparing you for the massive success that is coming. If life was easy, everyone would be rich and fit, and being successful would mean nothing. The difficulty is the filter that keeps the cowards out of the winner's circle. Bravery reveals paths that a coward is literally incapable of seeing, and if you want to find new solutions, you have to be willing to take the biggest risks. Money is just an amplifier that reveals who you truly are. If you are a good man, more money will make you a better man. But if you are a weak man, more money will just make you more pathetic. You have to go through the gauntlet of pain, because no man can become truly great without being tested in the fire. The path to the top is simple, but it is not easy. It requires you to show up every single day and perform at your highest level, even when you feel like quitting. Consistency is the ultimate power, and if you can outlast everyone else, you will eventually win by default. When you tolerate mediocrity in yourself, you are telling the universe that you are a mediocre man, and the universe will respond by giving you a mediocre life. You are not on this planet just to survive and then die. You are here to leave a mark that lasts for generations. Real respect is found on the other side of fear, and if you want what others can't have, you must do what others won't do. Surround yourself with a brotherhood of men who hold you accountable and who push you to be better every single day. If you find yourself in a room where you are the smartest or the richest person, you are in the wrong room. You need to be around people who make you feel like a failure so that you are forced to level up. Do not fall for the trap of self-care or taking a break after a small win. Winners don't stop when they are tired, they stop when they are done. Truly wealthy people are workaholics because they understand that the top of the mountain is a slippery place, and if you stop climbing, you will start falling. If you feel anxiety because your work isn't finished, you should use that anxiety as free energy to get the job done. Direct all of your internal fire and your anger toward a singular goal until that goal is conquered. Being a man means eating pain for breakfast and realizing that no one is coming to save you. Your government does not care about you, and your friends probably don't want you to succeed because your success makes them feel bad about their own laziness. You are the only person responsible for your health and your finances and your family's future. If you can't afford to take care of your mother or move your family to a safe place in a crisis, you are a failure as a leader. Love is not a feeling, it is the ability to provide and protect, and if you aren't working to get rich, you don't truly love the people who depend on you. We are living in the era of the Great Lock-in where asset prices are skyrocketing and the value of the currency is being deleted. If you don't make your move now, you will be a permanent debt slave for the rest of your life. Success is a mathematical certainty if you apply relentless force to a single point for a long enough period of time. The molecules of the universe will literally rearrange themselves to create a path for a man who refuses to quit. But the universe also knows when you are lying to yourself, and it stops helping you when you break the promises you made in the dark. You must give the world your absolute best energy before the world will give you its rewards. Your bank account is a direct reflection of your value and your discipline. Stop hanging out with people who complain about the world and start hanging out with people who talk about how to conquer it. Success leaves clues, and if you are a good listener, you can find the path to millions. The most important investment you can make is in the hardware between your ears. Stop letting the algorithms of social media dictate your mood and your attention. Take control of your life and move with a level of intensity that scares the people around you. Waking up rich is an incredible feeling, but knowing that you are the master of your own soul is the ultimate victory. The world is a gladiator pit, and it is time for you to start drawing blood. Get your money and get your power and get your freedom, because no one is going to give it to you for free. Money is the only game that truly matters, because without it, you are just a slave with an opinion that no one cares about. You need to become wealthy so that your voice actually carries weight in the world. Being rich isn't about the cars or the watches. It's about the integrity of your word and the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want. If you are poor, your integrity is always for sale because you can be bought for a paycheck. You need to escape the prison of poverty through the door that is wide open for anyone who is willing to work hard enough to find it. Success is hard because it is valuable, and if you are struggling, it just means you haven't paid the price yet. Your own mediocrity should be the only motivation you need. If your life is so boring that you don't have any interesting stories to tell, you should be ashamed. The best day of your life should be just another Tuesday for a winner. God has linked difficulty and value, and nothing worth having is ever given away for free. You have to train your mind to be excited by the challenge and to find joy in the process of becoming elite. The easiest way to lose as a man is to chase happiness, because happiness is fleeting and it makes you soft. Focus on the work, and the work will become your purpose. Any financial hardship you are in is temporary as long as you refuse to be lazy. Work works, and if you are prepared to try and you are open to new ideas, you are guaranteed to win. Everything in this world is given based on merit, and if you want more, you have to be more. Your mindset should be focused on what makes you the most competitive version of yourself. Choose the beliefs that make you powerful, and discard the beliefs that make you weak. You are going to be stressed whether you are a winner or a loser, so you might as well be stressed while building an empire. It is easy to win today because most people are perfectly happy to lose. Take responsibility for everything in your life and stop waiting for a handout. The secret to the universe is the ability to focus 100% of your consciousness on a single task. If you can do that for just 20 minutes a day, you will be more successful than 99% of the population. Most people are asleep at the wheel, and they miss every opportunity that passes by. Stay awake and keep your head above the crowd so you can see the path to victory. The most torturous existence for a man is to live between being a coward and a hero. Stop living with what-ifs and start taking action. The price of failure is small compared to the price of regret. You will still have food and a place to sleep if you fail, but you will never have peace if you don't try. Everything in life is a scam if you don't put in the work, but work is the only thing that makes life real. Depressed people are usually just people who have given up on trying to be great. Work prevents your life from being a scam, and it makes every experience more beautiful. If you say you lack motivation, it just means you don't have a life worth living yet. Build a life that requires you to work, and you will find all the motivation you need. I want you to win more than you want to win yourself, but I can't run the race for you. Stop hoping for a rescue and start fixing your own life. The world is competitive, but the competition is zero because everyone else is lazy. A loser is someone who sleeps fine at night while they are still broke. If you have any shame at all, you will use your envy as fuel to prove that you can make it from nothing. Money is everywhere, and if you don't have it, it's because someone else is better at taking it than you are. Speed is the most important element in business, and everything needs to be done fast. Unhappiness and failure can never catch you if you are moving with extreme speed. I refuse to do anything that doesn't benefit my legacy or my children. Every action you take should be a contribution to your future empire. It would be a tragedy to die without ever knowing what you were truly capable of if you actually tried. You've had one foot in and one foot out of your dreams for too long, and that is why you aren't where you want to be. Greatness never goes on sale, and it requires suffering and focus and tears. But if you finally commit your entire soul to your vision, it will absolutely come to pass. You are a king and a monster and a legend in the making. Now go out there and prove it to the world. Do not let the system distract you with trivialities, and do not let your own mind tell you that you've done enough. The work is never finished, and the climb never ends. This is the life you were built for, so stop complaining and start conquering. Every drop of sweat and every hour of pain is an investment in a future that most men can only dream of. You have the power to change your bloodline forever, but you have to be willing to act now with a level of intensity that defies logic. Every hour you spend being average is an hour you are spitting on your father's legacy, and every time you choose the easy path, you are telling the woman you love that she chose the wrong man. That should keep you awake at night, and that should be the fire that drives you when the lucky day hasn't arrived yet, because you are the vanguard of your family's future. If you win, everyone wins, and if you lose, everyone suffers. The 9-to-5 rat race is specifically designed to make you forget about your bloodline, because it wants you to think of yourself as an individual unit of consumption so you don't feel the weight of your ancestors. But I am here to remind you that you are a soldier in a generational war, and your actual worth is not determined by your salary, but by the distance you move the needle for your family name. When people hear your last name, they should think of power, and they should think of success, and they should think of the man who broke the chains once and for all. This is the 1% code where men don't work for themselves, but they work for the glory of their house, and they work so that their father can walk with his head high, and they work so their wife can walk with pride. They know that the endless work is only for a season, and they commit to a few years of total obsession, where they become the ghost who disappears to build the man. Then you emerge as a king while the zombies are watching the clock waiting for 5 o'clock. The winner is watching the legacy waiting for the moment he becomes immortal. Don't die a loser, because the death of a loser is a silent event that the world forgets in a week, but die as a legend and as a man who proved his worth 10 times over. Die as the man who was the turning point for his entire lineage, and use this mindset to dominate the year ahead. This is how you win in the schism, because you don't just win for you, but you win for the men who gave you your name and the children who will carry it forward. Imagine the day you buy your father his dream car, or you pay off his mortgage and you look him in the eye and he realizes that the struggle was worth it. That feeling is better than any drug, and it is more valuable than any digital distraction. That feeling is what it means to be a man, so get back to work and stop being average. Stop being soft and prove to the world and to your bloodline that you are exactly who you say you are. The time for talking is over, and the time for being a son is over. It is time to be the patriarch, and it is time to be the champion. Every drop of sweat in the gym and every hour of focus in the office is a tribute to the man your father hoped you would become. Don't let him down, and don't let yourself down. The world today is a meat grinder for the weak, but it is a stage for the strong. Walk onto that stage and show them the worth of your blood, and show them that the chain of mediocrity has finally been snapped by the sheer force of your ambition. You have to understand that the respect of a woman is not something you get because you are nice or because you listen, but a woman respects a man who has a mission that is bigger than she is. She respects a man who is the master of his environment, and when she sees you working until 2 in the morning or training until your body aches, she doesn't just love you, she admires you. That admiration is the foundation of a real kingdom, while a loser's wife is constantly looking over his shoulder for a better option, even if she doesn't know it. A winner's wife knows she is with the apex predator of the social hierarchy, and she knows she is with the man who broke the chains. You owe it to her to be that man, and you owe it to your father to be the realization of all his sacrifices. He worked a job he hated so you could have the chance to build a life you love, and if you waste that chance on video games and social media, you are a thief. You are stealing the value of his labor, and you have to be the return on his investment. You have to be the one who makes your name stand for something significant, because the rat race is the burial ground for family legacies. It turns kings into cogs and warriors into workers, but you are the glitch. You are the one who is going to use the endless work of these few short years to build a fortress that no economic storm can destroy. The systems won't replace a man who is building a dynasty, and the algorithm won't delete a man who's the pillar of his community. You have to become indispensable, and you have to become a mountain. Mountains are built one stone at a time every single day with no days off. Do you want to be the man who is remembered for what he bought, or the man who's remembered for what he built? Do you want to be the man who followed the rules, or the man who wrote them? The 1% code is about legacy, and it is about bloodline, and it is about proving that you are not average. If you truly give your best for only 1 year, you will see the respect in their eyes change, and you will see your father's posture straighten. You will see your wife look at you with a new kind of intensity, and you will realize that the hard work wasn't actually hard because the reward is so massive. The only thing that is hard is being a loser, because being a loser is exhausting and depressing, and it is a slow death. Winning is life, and winning is energy, and winning is the only way to prove your actual worth. So don't you dare die a loser, and don't you dare let the fire go out on your watch. Be the man who breaks the chains, and be the man who makes his father proud. All it takes is the mindset that you will win, and all it takes is the frequency of showing up every single day. Turn the win in your mind into real life things, and turn your potential into power. Turn your name into a legend, because the world is waiting for the man who refuses to be average. That man is you, so go prove it, and go do the work that no one else is willing to do, so you can live the life that no one else can live. Your bloodline is watching, so don't blink. The systems have convinced you that your feelings are the most important thing in the universe, because if they can control your mood, they can control your output. A man who only works when he is in the mood is a man who can be neutralized by a simple shift in the weather or a single negative comment on a screen. You have to realize that to win, you have to stop being a person, and you have to start being a machine. A machine does not have a mood, and it does not wake up feeling unmotivated. A machine does not care if it is raining outside, or if it is tired, or if its feelings are hurt. It simply executes the program, and it performs the task. It produces the result. Every single day you spend waiting for inspiration is a day you are losing to the man who has decided to be a machine. Motivation is a fickle and weak emotion that only shows up when things are already easy, but discipline is the cold, hard logic of the winner who does what needs to be done regardless of how he feels about it. You have to understand that the elite do not operate on a mood-based economy, but they operate on a result-based architecture. If I am tired, I still train, and if I am stressed, I still close deals. If I am heartbroken, I still lead, because the world does not care about my internal state. It only cares about my external impact. When you decide to be a machine, you are effectively removing human error from your path to success. You are taking yourself out of the equation so that the win can happen with mathematical certainty. Think about the zombies staring at their phones, waiting for a hit of dopamine to make them feel like doing something. They are slaves to their chemistry, but you are the ghost that has taken over the machine. You have to look at your body as a tool and your mind as a processor, and you give them commands that they must follow without question. When the alarm goes off and your body says it is tired, the machine says executing protocol. When you are in the office and you have more calls to make, but your mind says you have done enough, the machine says proceeding with remaining tasks. This is how you outwork everyone else, because the competition is looking for an excuse to quit. They are looking for a reason to say it is not my day, but for a machine, every day is the day. There is no such thing as an off switch until the mission is completed. You have to adopt this mechanical ruthlessness because it is the only thing that can survive the pressure. The world is designed to trigger your emotions, to keep you in a state of flux. They want you angry and they want you sad and they want you excited, because as long as you are emotional, you are reactive. As long as you are reactive, you are not in control. A machine is never reactive, it is always proactive. It doesn't react to the world, it acts upon the world. To be a machine is to be free from the tyranny of your own biology. It is to be the man who can look at a mountain of work and feel absolutely nothing but the drive to finish it. This is how I became a champion. I didn't get to the top because I loved every second of training, but I got to the top because I did it regardless of whether I loved it or hated it. I treated my body like a piece of hardware that needed to be optimized. I didn't listen to the complaints of the flesh, and I didn't listen to the whispers of the mind. I only listened to the command of the soul, which said you have to prove to your father and your bloodline that you are the one who cannot be stopped by something as trivial as a bad mood. Imagine your father seeing you push through a situation that would have broken an average man. Imagine him seeing you act with cold efficiency when everyone else is panicking. That is where the respect comes from. Respect is the reward for the man who stays consistent when the world is chaotic. Your wife doesn't need a husband who is in the mood to protect her, but she needs a husband who protects her, because that is his function. Your family doesn't need a provider who is motivated to work, but they need a provider who works, because that is his duty. The mood is a luxury for children and losers, but for a man of power, the mood is irrelevant. You have to become so disciplined that your bad days look like an average man's best days. You have to set a baseline of performance that is so high that even when you are at your worst, you are still winning. This is the only way to ensure that you never miss your lucky day. If you only show up when you feel like it, you are gambling with your future. But if you show up as a machine every single day, you are making success a statistical inevitability. The world is a place of logic, and the only way to master it is to be more logical than the systems themselves. Stop asking yourself how you feel, and start asking yourself what is the next step. Turn off the emotional sensors and turn on the execution engine. Be the man who can work through the pain, and work through the boredom, and work through the doubt. Be the man who is so consistent that people think you are a freak. Let them think that, and let them wonder how you do it. The secret is that you don't do it because the machine does it. You have just reached a level of sovereignty where you are the one holding the remote control. The rat race is designed to break your spirit so you become an emotional wreck, but a machine cannot be managed, it can only be directed. Break the chains of your own emotions and break the habit of checking your mood before you check your to-do list. The money doesn't care if you are happy, and the weights don't care if you are sad. The world only cares if you are there, so be there and be a machine and do the work. You have to understand that the concept of fun is nothing more than a sedative designed to keep you happy with your own insignificance, while the real men are out there carving the world into pieces. Fun is for losers because it is a temporary escape from a reality that you find unbearable. If you have to escape your own life every weekend just to survive the week, then you have already admitted that your life is a failure. Real men don't look for fun, but they look for work, and they look for money. Because work is the only thing that gives a man a sense of purpose, and money is the only thing that gives a man the power to protect his legacy. The systems have marketed fun as the ultimate goal, to ensure that you stay broke and distracted while the elite build fortresses of wealth. You see the zombies wasting their most valuable years chasing a dopamine hit that leaves them hungover and poor, but a real man finds his joy in the struggle. He finds his fun in the closing of a deal, and he finds his entertainment in the breaking of his own physical limits. If your idea of a good time is sitting on a sofa watching other men play a game, then you are a child in a man's body. The world is going to treat you with the brutality you deserve. Work is the only thing that is real, and it is the physical manifestation of your masculine will. When you work, you are telling the Creator that you are using the tools He gave you to build something that matters. When you chase fun, you are telling the universe that you are a consumer and a passenger. Money is for real men because it is the ultimate scoreboard of competence. If you are a man of high value but you have no money, then you are lying to yourself about your value because the market is a cold and honest judge. Money is the tool that allows you to provide for your father and protect your wife. A man without money is a man who has to ask for permission, while a man with money is a man who gives it. You have to adopt the mindset that work is your default state and that fun is a distraction for the weak. Imagine your father looking at you and seeing a man who's obsessed with the mission. Imagine the pride he feels when he realizes his son is a machine of productivity. Then imagine the alternative where he sees you waste your potential on fun while the family name remains in the mud of mediocrity. That should be enough to make you hate the very idea of a day off. Real men understand that the 1% code requires a total abandonment of the leisure class mentality. We don't want to relax, because relaxation is just another word for stagnation. We want to expand, and we want to dominate. We want the bag not so we can buy toys, but so we can buy sovereignty. The rat race is built on the promise of fun at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel never ends for the man who doesn't own the machine. You have to build your own machine, and you have to realize that the gap between the earners and the entertainment seekers is becoming a canyon. If you are spending your time on anything that doesn't increase your bank account or your physical power, then you are losing. You are literally bleeding out your future, and you think you are having fun, but you are just being harvested. Every movie you watch and every game you play is a tax on your potential. A real man loves the work because he loves the man he becomes through the work. He loves the discipline and he loves the callous hands. He loves the mental exhaustion that comes from solving problems that would break an average guy. That is the only fun that counts, and everything else is just noise. Money is the physical proof that you have mastered the ghost in the machine, and it is the proof that you have outworked the zombies. If you aren't financially strong, then you are a target. You have to be obsessed with the bag, because it is your shield and it is how you tell the world you cannot touch me. You can only get that shield through endless work and the refusal to be entertained. Look at your wife because she doesn't want a fun husband who is the life of the party but can't pay the bills. She wants a man who is serious and focused and making moves while the rest of the world is sleeping. She wants to see that you are a winner in any situation. When you provide her with a life of luxury through the sheer force of your labor, that is when she truly respects you. That respect is worth more than 1,000 nights of fun. You have to realize that the mood for work is something you create and not something you wait for. A machine doesn't have a mood, and if you want the results of a machine, you have to act like one. Do the work regardless of how you feel, and do it when it is boring and hard, and do it when everyone else is out having fun. In 1 year, the people who are having fun will be in the same place they are now, but you will be in a different stratosphere. You will be the man who broke the chains and proved his worth. Fun is the bait in the trap, so don't take it. Stay hungry and stay obsessed and stay working, because the world belongs to the men who realize that work and money are the only things that truly matter. Everything else is just a ghost. The modern definition of fun is specifically engineered to lower your ambition, because men who play are not men who compete. The systems need you to be a child so that you never challenge the authority of the systems that own your labor. When you look at the real players in the global game, they aren't at the clubs, but they are in the boardroom and the gym. Their fun is seeing their net worth increase and seeing their competitors go out of business. This is the level of intensity you need to adopt to escape being average. Look at fun as a tax on your life. If you spend 5 hours having fun, you have lost the momentum you built during the week. A real man doesn't need to unwind because he is never wound up by things he can't control. He is the one doing the winding. Work is the highest form of human expression, and it is how we transform the chaos of the world into order. Money is just the measurement of that value. If you have no money, you have created no value, and you are of no use to your bloodline. That is a harsh truth, but it is the truth. The economy won't value your hobbies, so be a machine of output and revenue. When people ask you why you work so hard, tell them your fun is winning. Tell them your fun is being the best. If you aren't playing to win, you are just an obstacle for the man who is. Imagine the look on your father's face when he sees you refusing distractions and choosing the struggle. He will see the strength of the bloodline and a man worthy of the name. Don't die a loser chasing a dopamine hit, but die a king who left a mountain of gold for his children. Work is for real men, and money is for real men. Sovereignty is for real men, while the rat race is for the zombies. Choose your side and choose it now, because the time for games is over. The work-life balance propaganda is the most effective lie told to the working class, because it convinces you to be balanced while your enemies are being obsessed. There is no balance at the top of the mountain, only the climb. If you are balanced, you are standing still, and if you are standing still, you are falling behind. The elite are not balanced, but they are lopsided towards success. You cannot have a high-octane life of power while wanting to chill like a peasant. Chilling is for people who have nothing left to build. As long as there is more money to be made and more strength to be gained, your work is not done. You have to be the man who finds the fun in the repetitive and the difficult. When I am in the gym and my muscles are screaming, that is my fun, because I know it is making me a version of myself that 99% of men are too weak to achieve. When I am looking at market data for 12 hours, that is my fun, because I know I am outthinking the competition. A winner loves the process of winning more than the prize itself. Money is the energy that allows you to move the world, and without it, you are just a voice in the wind. With money, you are a force of nature. You have to show your father that his hard work wasn't in vain,